right, we're not even going to waste any time here. Breaking news about 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago.
Not even. Aaron Rodgers is now a New York Jet.
New York Jets, and it's a big freaking trade.
I mean, the details on it is juicy, to say the least.
And also, he will wear number 8 by Adam Schefter.
Which would make sense considering Elijah Moore was just traded to Cleveland not too long ago, who also wore number 8. So the full deal here, broken down by Adam Schefter, is the New York Jets are going to get Aaron Rodgers, the number 15th pick this year, and a 5th-round pick at 170 this year as well. The Packers in return will get the number 13th pick, so they just swapped 2 spots basically. A 2nd-round pick at number 42, and a 6th-round pick this year. And then after that, they also have a 2024 2nd-round pick that could become a 1st-rounder if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays.
I think Packers won this trade. I think
Packers definitely got a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
They got a lot.
And it's good. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Jordan Love. We don't know enough about Jordan Love. We know he has shown some flashes, but he's also shown why he shouldn't be a starting quarterback. And just to say the least, though, we'll have to wait and see what happens. You gotta let him do at least 1 or 2 years. I think a year, maybe and a half, to see how he actually does with a full season under his belt. He's never played a full season because he's been behind Rodgers for 3 years now.
So do you think about the Jets right now? Do you think they're playoff contenders? Or still like...
So anticipating this move, and I have...
you see with the draft?
Yeah, and even my coworkers, I've told them, I think the Jets are a wild card team minimum. You got to take a look at the division-wise, okay? So in the AFC, right?
Yeah.
Chiefs, they're making it, okay? Knock them down for 1. Okay, that's 1. I'm not saying number 1, first off, so before anybody flips out there, but I'm saying they're one of the 7 that will make it. Okay, because only 7 make it now. So, Chiefs, check, that's 1. Bengals, 2.
Oh, yeah.
3, you could... Bills.
Oh, Bills.
4, Miami.
So you
and then 5, the Jets. That's 3 right there out of the AFC East.
You don't think the Browns can make it at least wild card?
And this is the thing. I don't believe they will again. They made this trade for Deshaun Watson at the worst time. They did. I honestly think they did. Because even though you have this division, right? And I'm not saying the Browns are better than the Ravens, nor am I saying the Ravens are better than the Browns. Over the last couple of years, the Ravens have been a better team.
Yeah.
However, we still don't know what's going on with Lamar Jackson. He hasn't been paid. No. They're not paying him. There's a reason they said, you know what? We'll tender you. Go see what you can get. Because they know he's not going to get what he wants to get.
No.
He knows that. So going into this,
after that,
he's going to either have to take a pay cut and stay in Baltimore, or he's going to have to play out his, tags and see what happens.
For the Beckham signing.
And that kills money that should have went to... Yeah. That was stupid.
No stupid, I think.
In my opinion,
was that stupid. $18 million?
It could be up to $18 million. It's $15 million guaranteed.
So guaranteed, okay.
Yeah. Or roughly around there. Yeah.
We'll see what's going to happen after the draft day. It's gonna
3 days away, by the way. 3 days away, by the way.
3 days away, yeah. It will be in Kansas City.
They win the Super Bowl and they win the draft. Let's talk about hitting the lottery for Kansas City. That economy over there is going to be booming for them.
Yeah. After the Super Bowl and then also the draft day.
Crazy.
They will get a lot of money. You know what? I'm happy for Kansas City because it's a small market state, Like, they get the money over there. You got St. Louis Cardinals, Kansas City Royals.
Let's not talk about the Royals. They're just,
I know, but I'm just saying overall, I'm happy for the state. I'm not talking about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Just happy for the state.
Correct. And you know what? The Chiefs have been that dominant team in the AFC. Again, like I said, I marked down the Chiefs. I marked down the Bengals. I marked down the Bills, Miami, and I put the Jets in there now. That's 5 out of the 7 wildcard teams. Now you're talking competition for them. Teams that I see competing for that 6 and 7. Number 1 is probably Baltimore, Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
But that's going to be tough because you also have the Raiders. You have the Chargers.
Raiders got better.
You got the Chargers.
Well, hey, he requested a trade, the running back from the...
Austin Eckler did, but I don't know if he found anybody yet. So he might be back 1 more year. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that situation as well. But I think Jacksonville's going to get better. A lot of people don't realize. Guess who comes back this year for Jacksonville? They made a trade.
I didn't know they made a trade.
Yeah, they made a trade. They made a trade, I believe, at the trade deadline. Calvin Ridley is coming back. A lot of people forget that he went to Jacksonville.
Oh,
he was with Atlanta, and they traded him away after he was suspended a year. He's getting a full year now. And not to even mention, and again, these aren't like top tier receivers, but they're good enough. You got Christian Kirk, who had an amazing year last year. You have Agnew, who's a good returner, who can also be a good speed threat. Now you add Calvin Ridley. You also have Evan Ingram still. You add ETN. Trevor Lawrence looks like he's going to be a good quarterback. I mean, where is Jacksonville not in the playoffs in this scenario unless somebody gets hurt?
I don't know why the Browns made that trade just in a wrong spot.
It's if they would have made that, let's say 2019, 2020, would have worked out perfectly. Maybe these teams in the AFC wouldn't have been as aggressive, but now the Browns are trying to get aggressive with almost no money.
Exactly. No picks.
No picks either. They don't pick until day two, third round.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, again, we'll have to wait and see. Again, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. He is a New York Jet officially. We're going to move on from there and go on to, speaking of the draft, why don't we talk about this? Carolina, you're on the clock.
Oh, yeah. That was a huge trade for the Bears.
Yes, they got DJ Moore, a good receiver. I don't think he's a number one.
But a good wide receiver.
Pairing him with Darnell Mooney is going to be good. Him and Darnell Mooney is good. Fields is going to explode this year. I'm calling it now.
I think, you know what?
Don't you dare draft him either.
I'm going to do the fantasy.
You're going to draft him. You know what? This is the problem with the podcast.
DJ Moore, maybe.
Okay. You drafted him last 2 years. He worked out 1 year, not the last.
Fine. He works, sometimes,
He didn't work out too well for you last year. Every time you benched him, he exploded. Yeah.
I think we'll see what's going to happen.
I'm looking to go back-to-back, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You always...
I'm still reigning the champion.
These trades, questionable trades.
What do you mean questionable?
Questionable picks sometimes,
And they pan out, don't they, usually?
And they go off.
Yeah. You guys, look, I took Breece Hall in the 4th round of this draft that we took. 4th round. Explosive up until he got hurt. And then in my other league, the one that you were in last 2 years ago, we're not getting into that situation, but the one you were in 2 years ago with me was I actually took Breece Hall and I traded him and Chris Olave away. The dude gave up Josh Jacobs.
What?
He gave me Josh because Josh Jacobs didn't explode. Josh Jacobs was like 3 or 4 points a game. I got the trade accepted the week he went off for 36 and then continued to explode the rest of the way. Plus, he also gave me, who else did he give me? He didn't give me Devontae Adams. He gave me another receiver. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I stole that pick. Yeah, I got booted in the first round. I don't know how with the team I had, but you know what? That's fantasy football. So, but Carolina's on the clock. I have been saying this for a while now. Now, we're going to go to Pro Football Focus looking at quarterback ranking. Mm-hmm. They do have Bryce Young off the board at number 1.
He's a good Alabama quarterback.
He did earn a 92.2 grade in 2021, and then he went down to a 91.5, a very slim fall off. However, I do like the way that C.J. Stroud played in the college football playoffs, and the way that Bryce Young handled some of those tougher situations. You play for Alabama. Mm-hmm. You have more of a cushion than you would at Ohio State when it comes to offensive line. Mm-hmm. When it comes to, the way that they build and they recruit in Alabama, I don't think there's another team that recruits better than Alabama in college football. And that being said, I do think that, in my opinion, I think C.J. Stroud, because he's been in those big-time situations consistently, I think he is the better quarterback.
We'll see what the Panthers are going to do.
And I hope, and I've been saying this for a while, I hope Carolina drafts him, because if not, I think they blew it.
So if that happens, who's going to be where C.J. Stroud ending?
C.J. Stroud is expected to land in Houston.
Houston, okay.
Which... There was another breaking thing over the weekend. I believe it was Sunday. So it would have been yesterday, actually, because we record this again on Mondays. Mm-hmm. An executive said C.J. Stroud's a bust. One executive in the NFL said that he doesn't meet one of the tests, and it's one of those big calculated tests to see how they transition from college to the pros.
So he's overrated.
According to one executive. Okay. Guess how many executives passed up on Tom Brady, though? Now, hold on. I'm not comparing C.J. Stroud to Tom Brady.
Exactly.
But it's the same thing.
He was a 6th-round pick.
You got to let these guys get drafted and see what they can do. I don't think C.J. Stroud's a bust. I think he's going to be – I mean, look at what Justin Fields is doing now.
Yeah.
And we thought he was a bust right out of college.
Well, yeah, after second year or so, first year?
Second year, yeah. And
he was doing horrible plays, but right now –
it's looking good. Looks like a good pick by the Bears, by the way.
By the way, I'm thinking about to draft him in the fantasy.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Now I know
I'm
you're
thinking. Okay,
you're thinking. Well, now I'm thinking I might have to move up on you.
We'll see.
Steal him away. All right, so real quick, these are your top 18 picks. These are the teams that were not in the playoffs by any means. So you got Carolina 1, Houston 2, Arizona 3, Indianapolis 4. In that, there's a mock draft made by Tankathon. Okay, so they have Bryce Young going number 1 to Carolina right now. They do have C.J. Stroud going 2 to Houston, and then they have Anthony Richardson, who I believe is the 4th. Yes, he's the 4th best quarterback going to the Colts. Will Levis is the 3rd ranked, and they don't have him going until number 11, which is the Titans, who just drafted Malik Willis. Now, Malik Willis did get drafted in the 3rd.
Okay.
So, we don't know what he showed some good signs. Him and Traylon Burks connected a lot last year. But Will Levis is, 151.9 rating. Mm-hmm. He was accurate about 65% of the time. He threw 19 touchdowns, but he threw 10 interceptions.
Hey, question. How many picks did Houston Texans have in the first round?
They have...
I think it's 3 maybe?
2.
2?
And here's what I like,
too. The second pick and 12th pick from the Browns.
12th. Yes, they got the Browns. Now, here's the only good side if Houston gets C.J. Stroud. According to Tankathon's mock draft, they will pair him up with Jason Smith and Jigba.
Oh, my God.
Talk about an Ohio State connection. I mean, that's just deadly.
Yeah, Nick, he was so freaking good.
Yeah. He didn't play much last year. 5 catches, 43 yards.
That'll be our best connection for C.J. Stroud and him.
Yeah,
so, we'll see.
And there's a thing about Ohio State receivers. Look at some of the top ones. You have Michael Thomas, you have Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin.
Paris Campbell's doing pretty good. He's not one of the top tier ones. You also have Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, who went last year, who look like they're going to be great.
Wilson is doing good.
Ohio State produces receivers, and not only that, they produce cornerbacks. I think
Wilson will do a better job this year with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Garrett Wilson? You mean Garrett Wilson? Yeah, Garrett Wilson is going to be very happy about that.
Very happy.
And if anybody else is happy about that, it's Sauce Gardner, the cornerback out of Cincinnati, because that dude was locked down, and now he gets to see the ball fly out of Aaron Rodgers' hand in practice over Zach Wilson. So, and there goes the dog. Yeah, sorry about that. For the first time ever in 12 episodes, my dog decides he wants to snore now.
Okay.
But, we're cool with that. So, yeah, again, this is going to be very interesting. There is a lot that's going to happen when it comes to the NFL draft. I do see the one thing I was interested in is what's going to happen with the... Sorry, I had to look over for a minute. I paused there. I was looking to see if there was breaking news when it went off, but it was not. So
okay.
Yeah. So again, real quick, I was looking at with the Lamar Jackson situation.
Okay.
This is scary if you are an AFC North fan. Right now they have the Ravens taking Jordan Addison from USC. USC's receiver, he is 5'11", 173. He's a little bit undersized. Great vertical. He's a good receiver. He is currently ranked number 2.
Oh, my God.
So, if you're a Ravens fan, you love that. However, you got to make sure Lamar comes back. Lamar says he wants receivers. He said he wanted Odell and Hopkins, according to a report.
They want Hopkins, too.
No, Lamar said it. For me to sign long-term, he wanted both of them there. I don't know how he can make that demand. Don't get me wrong.
How are you so greedy?
Don't get me wrong. He is an MVP quarterback. Won it once in 1 year. But again, he's 1-3 in the playoffs. To me, you have to be at least 2-2 to start making demands like that of how they change the roster. You're not Aaron Rodgers.
No.
You're not Tom Brady.
No.
You're not Patrick Mahomes.
No.
You might be getting close to
Even
Mahomes.
Josh Allen either.
I think him and Josh Allen are really good quarterbacks. I do think Josh Allen is to that point where
He's
in
better
another
than him
two
right now.
I do think in the next 2 to 3 years, I think Josh Allen's going to be able to go to the Bills and say, I want this player, I want that player, and they're going to give it to him the same way that Burrow's going to get it.
Yeah.
The same way Burrow's going to get it. If Burrow wants Ezekiel Elliott, they'll go get Ezekiel Elliott right now.
Well, Lamar Jackson is just like
he's not there
so
yet.
greedy. Like
if he were to get some wins in the playoffs and I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback or anything, but if he can get 1 or 2 wins in the playoffs, this year, and they can keep going on farther and farther, then I think next year they'll say, all right, we'll pay you what do you want.
Do you think there's a possibility that the Browns chemistry can work this time if Deshaun Watson plays the whole year?
I really hope so, because that team has a lot of talent on paper, and it's just a matter of actually winning games now.
Tough teams, Bengals
and the Ravens
in there.
And so I honestly think I think the Steelers might be coming up too. If the Steelers hit on the draft, we have 4 competitive teams in this division. This might be the toughest division again. You might see a new leader in the league every week. So, but again, NFL Draft Thursday. Can't wait to watch. Yeah. I will be, again, on Twitter. I try to be on Twitter. I am busy. I do have 2 jobs.
Roger Goodell.
Pretty much. I can't wait for the first boo. But I will do my best to watch it Thursday and keep up.
It's going to be 8:30.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time, or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. First pick's not going to be for about 30, 40 minutes, so per usual. But again, make sure go ahead and drop the Twitter link right now as well at Inside Stadium. That's going to be our Twitter handle for any of the live tweets. And then for you as well, it is at ShayRuiz23. For me, it is at sports_boy_cam. So you can go ahead and follow those if you'd like. That is on those are our Twitter page. But again, make sure you follow Inside the Stadium, because I'm gonna be doing my best to go on there and live tweet. I tried my best last time with the NBA playoffs. You had the Cavs, Knicks, Boston and Hawks. I got to work early in the morning, so I couldn't stay up for the late games, but I do my best. So we're gonna move on from NFL. Why don't we jump into some baseball real quick?
Oh my god.
So I have 2 teams that I have looked at that are very badly underperforming, at least into the first month of the season. Yeah. This is not an overreaction. This is just me looking at where we're at, and based on what we thought they would come into the season, how we thought they would start out, and where they're at right now. Number 1, we're going to start on the, and it's crazy to me too. I have 2 teams on both sides, American League and National League.
I know what American League is, so
National League.
Oh, Pittsburgh Pirates, I bet you is.
I'm going to start with the bad first. The St. Louis Cardinals are in 4th place in their division. Now, they are batting 4th in the league with a .270 batting average, but they're 21st in pitching with a .466 ERA. That is
horrible.
God awful.
Awful.
And if you look at some of these teams they played, they really haven't played teams that are like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm looking at it. I mean, they were 2-1 against the Blue Jays to start the season at home. Then they were 0-3 against the Braves at home. That's a division. That's not a division. Excuse me. But then you face a division team in the Brewers, 1-2.
Yeah.
At Milwaukee. Then you
Milwaukee's are good.
The Brewers are good. They were very slept on this year. I think I even put them 3rd.
Yeah.
But I also thought that you were going to see the Cardinals. I put the Brewers 2nd, I believe. I thought the Cardinals were going to be number 1.
Yeah.
But then they go on and they play the Rockies at Colorado. They win 2 of 1 there. You think they're turning it around, and then split against Pirates, 2-2. Then they go home again against the Diamondbacks, and they're 1-2. And I'll tell you what, the Diamondbacks are very interesting this year so far. Yeah. They have beaten the Dodgers. They have beaten the Padres. They have beaten a lot of powerhouse teams right out the gate. Can they sustain it? We'll have to wait and see. Can they continue their success? We'll have to wait and see. But then the Cardinals go on this past Sunday. This is all the way up till April 23rd. And they will go 1-2 against the Mariners in Seattle. So during that whole time, their pitching is not as good as we thought it was going to be coming in. But their batting is there. They're losing games on their pitching.
It's not good pitching.
And to be honest with you, every team in the league is not doing the best in pitching.
Do you think it's a pitch clock?
I do.
Do you think it's a pitch clock?
I think it's the pitch clock. But then we're gonna go to the good side of the NL. The Pirates, same
Huh.
division. Number one, they're first in their division. Now here's where it gets really interesting. They're 13th in batting with 250, but they're 8th in pitching with a 3.63 ERA. They're in the top 10. Who thought of it?
Nobody.
I mean,
They're
you're
putting
talking
last.
about
They're putting last.
about teams like the Mets with Scherzer and Verlander. You're talking about the Yankees with when Rondon comes back, a powerhouse with
And
Cole
Severino, too.
and Severino.
And others got hurt big time.
So, I mean, you got those two powerhouses, though, in Rodon and Cole. Then you think about, okay, Strider and Max Fried, okay? Those guys should have a bounce-back year. Then you think of, I mean, there's a lot of teams out there, Dustin May and Kershaw, Walker Buehler. You're talking about good pitching rotations, and they're in the top 10 with them.
It is crazy what's going on in the league right now.
It is crazy. So we're going to go to the American League. Again, the bad side is what we're going to start with. Who'd you say it was?
The Yankees, maybe?
No, the bad one? No, it's not the Yankees.
Because the Yankees are struggling.
There's one team that I've seen that is very poorly underperforming. They're in 4th place in their division.
Cleveland?
No, Cleveland's second.
Cleveland second.
It would be the...
Did you talk about the Central Division or just... the Houston Astros, maybe?
No, they're actually above 500. They're 12-11. They're in 2nd place. The team I'm talking about is the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about them.
4th place. This is how badly they've been so far this year. Now, again, it's only a month in. Don't overreact. Or about to be a month in.
Well, yeah, you're right. They're bad.
White Sox are in 4th place in the division. They're 17th in batting, hitting 241. They're not that far behind.
The pitching is horrible.
They're 27th in pitching.
Yeah.
They have a 5.43 ERA.
Yeah.
That's god awful.
What's the ERA for Jolito?
Oh, I don't even want to get into that. I'm not breaking them down at this point. That's just too much. But okay, looking at their schedule, right? They're 2-2 against Houston at Houston. Then they're 1-2 at home against the Giants. Then 1-2 at Pittsburgh. Then 1-2 against the Twins. 1-2 against the Orioles. 1-2 at home against Philly. And then 0-3 against the Rays. By the way, the Rays are still undefeated at home.
Rays undefeated.
Rays are undefeated at home. And they just tied the Brewers. I forgot what year. And what was the other team?
81, 82. Something.
Yeah, and then it was 89 Braves.
Yeah.
Or 83 or something like that. And that's the 16-0.
Yeah.
Tied it. They were one win from breaking that.
Tampa Bay is the biggest surprise in the league right now because I put them 4 or 5th.
I put them 4. I think you put them 5th because I put Red Sox last. Yeah. The Orioles are doing what we expect them to do.
Yeah,
they're sitting in 2nd, and we expect them to be at 3rd, though, at some point. Yankees are 3, and they're going to swap.
And, hey, do you saw Vladimir Guerrero got hit by a pitch?
Yeah, that's becoming a rivalry.
Okay, but the point is, I get, hit by a pitch. You know how long it took? He was looking on the mound, the pitcher, just stepping aside. He's still looking at him. And Rizzo said, What's going on?
Okay, but you got to go back. I was watching MLB Central earlier today. MLB Central, they even showed it on there. This has been brewing since last year.
Yeah.
Every single game they played last year in either New York they were throwing at each other every time. It's been brewing. This is a new rivalry. This is what the Yankees and Red Sox rivalry is supposed to be.
Blue Jays.
But right now it's the Blue Jays.
Just
like with Cleveland. It used to be Cleveland and Detroit running in the division. Now you got the Twins.
The Twins, yeah.
White Sox got to prove to me they're up there first.
So, yeah, it's going to be, by the way, there's 7 games remaining, or 7 or 9 games remaining against the Blue Jays. So,
yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Very
interesting. And, by the way, Alex Manoah and Garrett Cole.
Yeah, Manoah's not even doing that hot right now.
No, but he did a good job against the Yankees on Saturday.
And that's a team, and that's the thing. Just like, when Cleveland faces Luis Arise tends to crush it against Cleveland. I mean, and speaking of Arise, he's hitting like 447 on the year already. I mean, come on. The dude is red hot. Twins might have screwed. I mean, they got a good ace. It might have been a good trade overall. But, man, did Miami get a hitter?
Yeah.
They got a hitter.
Yeah. He got a cycle, too, for the first time in franchise history.
So...
the other day.
Yes, he did. And we're going to go right with the White Sox. Like we said, they're in 4th place. So, and it's not even that they're terrible. Because when you look at, all right, first place is the Twins. Twins are 23rd in batting. They're 230 batting. And then pitching-wise, they're 4th. They're a 3.36 ERA. And then when you look at Cleveland,
that changed a lot because last year that pitching
was god awful.
Awful.
Pablo Lopez has a lot to do with that, but again,
because Barrios is not.
And I'm sure they're glad that he's gone. But again,
I think he's still there. Barrios
is with the Blue Jays now.
No.
Yeah. Where have you been? Jose Barrios is with the Blue Jays. He got traded last year.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Yeah,
you're still
right.
stuck in 2020.
I'm sorry.
Still stuck in 2020.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
But again,
Sonny Gray.
He's with the
Twins.
Yeah, he's doing good. But again, so White Sox are 17th in batting, and they're 4th in their division. But Minnesota's 23rd at batting. They're worse, but their pitching's there. And then Cleveland, 21st in batting, 223.
They need to get better.
And then 12th pitch. They're 12th pitching with a 3.95 ERA.
Was it pitching? I'm sorry.
12th. They have a 3.95 ERA as a collective through the league. So the pitching is definitely a lot better for those two teams, but the offense is not there.
No.
For the Twins or the Cleveland. So I mean, you're looking at that and going, okay, if you're the White Sox, get your pitching under control. You're in first place. Which I did predict them to win first place, but I did not see this pitching staff of the Twins coming out like this.
No.
I expected them to be better, but not top 5 right now.
So the bullpen maybe struggle a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Their starting pitching's phenomenal.
Yeah, Sonny Gray and Lopez.
Pablo Lopez, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then again, we're going to go to the best part of the American League. They're the best team in the MLB. The Tampa Bay Rays. 9-3 record. The only team close enough to them is the Pirates at 16-7. That's the next best team. The Pirates and the Rays. Where the hell is what's going on? What's going on? Because I got
the Dodgers are struggling too.
The Dodgers are struggling. The Padres are struggling. I mean, what happened to the MLB in 1 year?
Pitch clock, I think.
It might
like
as well be.
But I think it could be the effect of the pitch clock, I think.
Now, this was an interesting stat. So, again, like we said, Tampa Bay is undefeated at home. We've already, gone through some of the stuff. But, I mean, okay, look at some of the teams Tampa Bay has played. Swept the Tigers at home. Okay. Swept the Nationals on the road. Okay. Swept the A's on the road. All right, so not terrible teams. They have won a couple of games, but they're not powerhouses. Then you got the Red Sox. They swept them 4-0 at home. But then they faced the Blue Jays, and they went 1-2. They got knocked down from the grace of God. And then 2-1 against the Reds. Not a great team. But then they swept the White Sox.
Because the White Sox.
The White Sox, yeah. That's what we're going to start. They're sucking right now, yeah. The White Sox.
They sucks, yeah.
They need to get their shit together. The Chicago
by the way, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Houston Astros.
Yes.
What do you think was going to happen with the Houston Astros?
I think they're going to continue to be in second or third place up until the point of getting Jose Altuve back. And once they get Altuve back, he's the spark plug for that team. And once they bring him back, I think that they're going to end up in first or second.
Michael Brantley, maybe.
Michael Brantley too. And again, looking at this, the Rays are first, Orioles second, Rays and the Blue Jays and or Yankees, Blue Jays and Red Sox. That leads the East. And I'll put that up right now. And then you look at it in the Central for the American League. You have Twins, Cleveland, Tigers, White Sox, and Royals. Tigers, White Sox, and Royals. None of them have hit double-digit wins yet. Twins are 12, Cleveland's 11. They're playing 500 baseball, and they're only 1 game back. Considering how bad Cleveland has been to start the year, considering they're only 1 game back is a blessing for them. AL West, I don't think this is going to last. The Rangers are 14-7. They're only 2.5 up on the Astros at second. Angels are in third.
What is going on with Seattle right now?
Seattle is, I think it has a lot to do with some of their hitters. Their hitters are not hitting the ball. They have a couple that are like nonstop hitting, and then you have a couple that are just like, whatever. Athletics, obviously, they're going to be at the bottom of the total poll. We expected that. But. Yes.
Speak about the A's. Feel sorry for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, they're going to be moving to Las Vegas here in the next couple of years, it seems like.
They already bought the.
It has a lot to do with the fan attendance too. They just put out there, hey, let's do a reverse boycott night
on June 12th.
Yeah, they're gonna have every fan in that stadium
is try to be packed. Oh, seriously.
It's showing that you're passionate about the team, but one night isn't enough in a 162 game season.
Come on, man. The owners is fault to the A's.
They are too. The A's
and also the state of California as well. They don't want to approve. Close to San Jose, California, something like that. They want to move close to the beach or something like that.
The A's. Yeah, again, apologize if you can hear the dog in the background with that. But again, the A's, I don't think they want to move to anywhere near a beach because they're talking about Las Vegas. So I don't know what's going on with that. But if you look, I mean,
But the
look at
owners-
but look at the way that
You know how many people they trade?
look at
Austin.
the movie Moneyball. The A's have been operating like that since 2004.
Yeah.
They've never really had the money compared to the other teams. The other teams like the Angels, the Dodgers, those are the teams of California.
Yeah,
The
you're right.
Padres,
San Francisco too.
the Padres, the Giants, those are the teams of California. I mean, the Giants were even showcased in an episode of Full House back in the 90s. So, I mean, those are the teams right there that they run California. The A's are an afterthought. They're like the ugly stepchild nobody wants.
So they're moving.
They're moving. And we'll see what happens if Vegas wants them or see
I
what
think
happens.
they
but
would do a good job in Vegas. I think the fans.
I hope they finally turn it around.
Look at this. I think there'll be Las Vegas. You know how many people they want to see baseball over there? So bad.
There's a lot of cities that do, and honestly, I'm glad Vegas is getting it. I hope Nashville gets one soon as well.
they deserve
Nashville
one.
deserves one.
Yes.
So
So Tampa Bay's not moving. Just to let you know.
no, they're staying there. They're not going to do the experimental Montreal, none of that. So,
No.
but okay, so we ran through the AL Central, and I put those up on the screen, and you can look at those. But the Braves are running the East right now, tied or half game ahead of the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the Marlins, the Phillies, and the Nationals. Phillies are going to eventually jump the Marlins.
Oh yeah, they will.
They just started off
Bryce
slow, and they're
Harper
going to
will
jump
come
in there,
soon.
and he's on track.
Oh yeah.
And I can't wait to see Bryce Harper crushing baseballs again, especially at City Park or Citizens Bank Park.
Citizens Bank.
And then Central, we kind of hit on this. The Pirates, the Brewers, the Cubs are playing out of their mind.
Oh, they're good.
Dansby
They're
Swanson
doing
and
good.
Cody Bellinger.
That
I mean,
offense.
are you kidding me?
And we need to know the stats in the future about the Cubs offense because they're doing a good job with the
I
offense.
think. Let's find out right now. I have it right here. So batting wise, the Cubs are second, batting 280.
Oh wow.
They are ahead of in between the Phillies and Tampa Bay, but pitching wise, they are ninth. So they're in the top 10.
So yeah, that's.
I mean, they're doing good. Dansby Swanson and Bellinger are doing great. Mancini's doing good, and they got some young guys that are performing,
And
and,
then
and that's
Bellinger.
great. Well, yeah,
Cody
Bellinger,
Bellinger.
yeah, Bellinger with Swanson. So, yeah. So I mean, there's that, and then the West. If I can go back for a minute, Dodgers and Diamondbacks are tied.
Dodgers. I don't know.
Diamondbacks are eventually going to slide down. I don't think they're going to slide down as much as I thought they were. They might be a third place team this year.
By the way,
Yes.
Bumgarner got released from the Arizona.
Yeah, DFA'd. He's done.
He's done. So
I think his
you think
career's
that-
done.
I think the Red Sox maybe they need to sign him.
I'll tell you one. I'll give you one name why you shouldn't. Corey Kluber. Same thing. It's exactly what he is. I don't know what they're thinking there. Chris Sale looks like he's finally had a bounce back. Can he stay healthy? We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah,
Corey Kluber.
yeah. Bumgarner's going to be like Corey Kluber. He's going to bounce around from team to team now. He's not going to be consistent. To me, Corey Kluber went from an ace to a 4 or 5 starter in the rotation, if that.
He did a good job with the Yankees when he was with the Yankees. That 1 year.
Yeah, he also looked really weird with no beard. Still hate your
He got a
policy.
no-hitter.
Still hate your
against
policy.
Texas.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Speaking of which, that's the team that gave us Emmanuel Clase for an inning and a half. Not even a full inning. Excuse me. But yeah, so you get Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres, Giants, and Rockies. I mean, it's close. I'm gonna put all that up on the screen as we talk about it, or as we talked about it. But yeah, baseball is getting really interesting here. It's again, we're not even a month in, so we're about to hit a
It's
month in a
early,
few
but
days.
We'll see. There's a lot of teams that need to do a better job.
Yeah. So, real quick, we're gonna make this fast here. I'm gonna try to cut this off in about 5-6 minutes. So, we do have a little bit of NBA update. Phillies just made easy work of the Nets. I'm sorry, not Phillies. Philadelphia, the
Oh, yeah,
Sixers.
they just
they just
swept
made
them.
easy work of the Nets.
I told you it could be a sweep.
I kind of expected that, and I told one of my other coworkers, if you're Cleveland, you wanted the Nets over the Knicks, and you're looking at the reason why right now. The Knicks, they're playing with a lot more heart.
They're
They've been the number
demolishing
one offensive
Cleveland.
rebound team all year. The Cleveland has been the best defensive team. Where's that defense right now? They're looking piss poor right now.
Well, it's more the offense too. You see the freaking turnovers
Looking at this,
and
the
Donovan
foul,
Mitchell.
yeah, but the foul calls have been god awful as well. I'm starting to wonder if Angel Hernandez didn't go to basketball.
I don't know. Cleveland needs a miracle right now.
They do. I honestly do think Cleveland wins Wednesday when this pot drops. They're going to win at home. They're going to lose in Game 6 in the Garden.
Yeah, in the Garden. Yeah.
And if they somehow manage to pull it out, then you're looking at Game 7 as the ultimate
I
test.
think if the Cleveland lose, it needs to verify he can find a small forward to sign.
I think you've seen the last of Levert. I think you've seen the last of Osman. I think you've seen the last of Okoro, unless he comes off the bench. You might be looking to trade Jared Allen, to be honest, and trying to get another center in the draft and maybe somebody that's more of a defender.
A power forward.
Yeah. Mobley needs to put about 10, 15 pounds on muscle.
Yeah, he needs. They need a power forward and a small forward.
So it's gonna be interesting.
Small forward is an urgency they need.
And then I believe, did the Celtics win yesterday?
Yeah. I think so. They beat the Hawks, and then by the way, Murray is in
Concussion
the official NBA is doing a research about Murray bumping the referee, the official.
Oh, DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray,
Yeah. So Miami and Bucks tonight. Miami's up 2-1. Giannis is finally back. Yep. Like we said, Cleveland's down 3-1. Philly already swept. Boston's up 3-1 on Atlanta. That game goes back to Boston. I think they win it in 5. And then on the West Coast, Denver's up 3-1 on Minnesota. Phoenix is up 3-1 on the Celtics. The Clippers. I was way off on that. Sacramento and Golden State is 2-2. They're tied. They're going to be the best series going in, and they're going to Game 7.
I think so, yeah.
I think it's going to... And the problem for the Warriors...
Aaron Fox right now. He got hurt.
He fractured his index fingertip.
Okay. So,
just the fingertip. So I think he's good. But again, this is going to come down to, in my opinion, it's going to come down to each team's going to win at home, and the Kings hold home court advantage. So Game 7, I think Kings pull it off if it goes that far.
Hey,
and the Lakers over Memphis right now.
Dylan Brooks.
Yes. Is it Draymond 2.0? That's what he is. He's Draymond 2.0.
This is worse than Draymond.
We talk about Draymond, and now we got another Draymond. Can we stop with the Draymond?
Well, I think this is worse than Draymond.
Draymond kicked people in the nuts.
Breaking news.
Oh, boy. Hold on.
Breaking news.
What are you getting?
DeJounte Murray got suspended. 1 game without pay for making inappropriate contact with an official in Game 4.
All right. Well, Celtics just won their ticket to face Sixers.
But they said 1 game without pay for regular season for next year or the playoff game. That's my question.
It'll be the playoff game.
Okay.
They're suspending him for the playoff game. So, Hawks, it was nice knowing you. Celtics are moving on. We have an Eastern Conference Championship type of series going on between the Sixers and Boston. So, all right, yeah. I think we covered everything we wanted to cover today. You got anything else?
Dylan Brooks. Shut your mouth.
Yeah. Can we do the same with Draymond, though, too?
Yeah, but I think Dylan Brooks was...
They're both, yeah.
No, but I think he got everything on his head. Talk about LeBron, about, he's old.
I mean...
Dude, you got only 5,022 points in history. You have no all-star experience. You don't have nothing.
I agree.
Nothing. And you start to criticize... a player been to the finals how many times? Won a championship 4 times.
4? Yeah, 4.
4 times.
Yeah, I forgot he won the Mickey Mouse one.
You got the lead points in history. Top 38,000 points and stuff like that. You need to shut your mouth. By the way, the other thing, he did the interview, but after the game 2, after they lost, he declined the interview. What a crybaby you are.
Yeah. Well, we've covered all 3 sports, the major ones that we talk about here. So, call it there, and we will be back next week. Again, NBA playoffs off to a hot start. Baseball, we'll see what happens
Cleveland,
next
make the miracle like in 2016.
I know you're hoping for that, but all right. Have a good one.
You guys take care.